Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. They've been filming Captain America 4, and Robert Downey Jr. was spotted on the set with the actors in scenes, so we'll explain what's going on and why he might have come back. There's a bunch of upcoming Marvel Phase 5 and Marvel Phase 6 movies and Disney Plus series that actually revolve around his character, so even though he's not going to be in every single Marvel movie coming back for every single thing, there are a lot of things that are happening in Marvel right now that completely revolve around the character, which is funny. If you're brand new to the channel, we're also in the middle of Secret Invasion episodes. I'm doing giveaways for Disney Plus memberships. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and just post all your Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man theories in the comments. Like, what is he coming back for in the MCU? Everybody wondering, why would he come back for Captain America 4 filming? What's he doing? Is it a flashback because he's dead in present day and Captain America 4 isn't meant to be a multiverse movie like a Kang Multiverse War or Avengers 5 giant crossover movie? There are a bunch of big cameo scenes and actors coming back for that, but Kevin Feige, the other people that are actually making the movie, said that it's meant to be super grounded compared to the space in the more multiverse movies that are happening the past few years. Like Deadpool 3 is a good example. Extreme multiverse. Deadpool kills the Fox Marvel universe.
It has been a long journey. It really has. It hasn't, though. It feels like it's gone by incredibly fast. I feel like we just got here. I feel like we never even left. I have no idea where I am in time and space.
I literally just did a video for that because there were so many scenes that have been posting and so many big cameos from all the different Fox Marvel movies. Like, there's so many multiverse cameos. Captain America 4 is like the opposite of that. Mostly just the Earth-based main MCU characters revolving around an Earth-based plot across Marvel Phase 5 and setting up Marvel Phase 6. Maybe there'll be a teaser for the new Avengers team during that, like an Avengers 5 post-credit scene, but like that's as crazy as they would get when you're talking about big multiverse stuff. The fan that spotted him filming scenes with the other Captain America 4 actors said that they were filming around what would be the Capitol building inside the MCU. And while he was there in the scenes, he was just driving around a bunch of really cool cars with the other actors. They could have some flashbacks for Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man character to explain part of what's happening in present day with Thunderbolt Ross, Val, just the current state of the government in the MCU, because Damage Control, essentially Iron Man's baby, like he created that organization during Spider-Man Homecoming. More recently, Damage Control has become a little more villainous, a little more antagonistic in the MCU, and they take control of a lot of his technology, like the Edith technology, the drones, during Spider-Man No Way Home. They also become pretty antagonistic during the Ms. Marvel series too. You can already see that after Doctor Strange's spell, after they basically erased Peter Parker, changed a few things about the backstory behind the Edith glasses and the drones. They've already repurposed the drones and are using them towards their own ends. That's just meant to be the tip of the iceberg. There's also all the Marvel Phase 5 and Marvel Phase 6 movie plots that revolve around Iron Man specifically, also Disney Plus stuff, way more than just Easter eggs and references. Particularly the Armor Wars movie. For those of you that were disappointed that they never made an Iron Man 4 movie, like there are a lot of fan trailers for Iron Man 4 out there. That's basically the reason why they turned Armor Wars from a series into a movie. Armor Wars is now essentially Iron Man 4, but with Rhodey being the main character and just a lot of Iron Man stuff in it. Originally, what happened is based on the budget they planned for, like they only want to spend about $150 million for the Disney Plus series, which is why some of them are only 6 episodes, because they run way longer in actual episode times, and some of them are way shorter, like WandaVision, which only go for like 25 to 30 minutes. Had they continued to do Armor Wars as a series, it would have felt a little bit more like Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like imagine the level of special effects, visual effects they used during that. But because it's based on the Iron Man Armor Wars story from the comics, it's all about Val and Damage Control bogarting all of Iron Man's most advanced tech and giving it to Justin Hammer, basically, because he's coming back during the series, and them doing all kinds of shady stuff with it. And as part of that, they wanted to be able to show you a ton of Iron Man armors doing all kinds of crazy action scenes, and all the crazy stuff Val tries to get Justin Hammer to create with Iron Man tech, which requires a crazy amount of special effects to pull off, crazy amount of visual effects, putting it way, way beyond the budget of a regular Marvel Disney Plus series. Like, you can't do Armor Wars and then just have Rhodey walking around talking to people, not wearing the armor for 6 episodes, and then just have like a post-credit scene where he does wear the armor. Everybody would be so disappointed. So Kevin Feige, the Marvel people, pretty quickly were like, okay, we just have to really cut down this runtime. Like, we're not going to do a 6 hours Armor Wars movie. We're going to do like a 2.5 hour movie. And because of that bigger budget, they could earn extra money back through a theatrical and a home video release run, which I am totally fine with. Yes, it is shorter, but it's actually going to be the version of Armor Wars that you wanted to see instead of something else. My other initial thought when fans started seeing him and posting about him filming scenes on Captain America 4 was that he came back as part of his new TV show, like a separate TV show called Downey's Dream Cars, which is a series where he mods his personal car collection with a bunch of different types of eco-friendly tech like electric and biodiesel.
Hi. You may know me as an occasional actor who makes faces for cash and chicken. We called it the Thanos Thumper because it's big and it's loud and it's purple. It looks like it could eat the world.
Can't believe he actually has a car that's based on Thanos. He also wound up giving Chris Evans a custom car right after Avengers Endgame came out when he announced that he was going to retire effectively as the Steve Rogers Captain America character. So he has a massive car collection. But it's no surprise that Robert Downey Jr. is a big car person. All the people posting this stuff, though, of him coming back on Captain America 4 swear on their mother's lives that it wasn't for his separate TV show, so we'll see. Recently, there was also a Marvel producer that made it sound like Robert Downey Jr. was never going to come back, which I think is a false assumption. I think the press just misinterpreted what a producer said using an out-of-context quote. What the producer said was that when people were pitching new Marvel Phase 5 movies and Disney Plus shows, Robert Downey Jr. was just off the table. And what I think he actually meant was that right after Avengers Endgame, when they were planning out Marvel Phase 4, Phase 5, Phase 6, regular movies and series, like all the movies that did not have Avengers in the title, they were not taking any pitches from people like producers and other movie makers for Iron Man 4, with MCU Iron Man coming back to life immediately, or for a Disney Plus series where he would be in like every single episode like a main character. Just in general, they weren't listening to big Iron Man Returns pitches right after Endgame. They wanted as many new characters they hadn't done before introduced to the MCU, with a few sequels for characters who were still alive confirmed at the end of Avengers Endgame.
I also think that Marvel is on this journey now of they're trying a bunch of other stuff, and I'm excited for them to see how all that goes, and it's hard to project.
Now, there are so many rumors still out there, fan theories, people want to see Iron Man come back. Could it ever happen?
Yeah, anything could happen. I'm really enjoying...
And all these wonderful things.
I'm looking right down the barrel.
That's why a couple years ago, you were seeing all those clips of Robert Downey Jr. saying that Marvel was quote-unquote trying some stuff when Marvel Phase 4 picked up, as in trying to introduce a bunch of fresh meat to the grinder, bunch of brand new characters. They did say he had some input when they were filming the Ironheart series and when that character was introduced during Black Panther Wakanda Forever, because the character's so tied to Iron Man in the comics, and a lot of what they were doing with the character was riffing on Iron Man stuff. But he didn't give them any big notes on Ironheart or ask them to change anything about her backstory with Iron Man in the MCU, other than to tell Dominique Thorne, the actress who plays the character, to just do her own thing, not to get too bogged down in too much of his Iron Man character's backstory. Like, he was actually pretty nice to her. The producers of that Ironheart series didn't give too much away about how the series invokes Iron Man, other than to say Ironheart in the MCU has a complicated connection with Iron Man, so we'll see what that turns into. They won't be releasing episodes of that till at least 2024. They pushed the entire schedule, so everything's been delayed just like a little bit. I don't think we're going to see any footage or a trailer for it till the end of this year or early next year at the earliest. I already did a first look video last year for all the footage that did get released for this series, so I had a link for that down in the description below. Right now, the Iron Man Armor Wars movie is supposed to come out right after the new Fantastic Four movie around summer 2025, if that doesn't get delayed again. There are a couple upcoming series and movies that will set that up. Like right now, part of the Skrull Rhodey storyline in Secret Invasion leads into Armor Wars, mostly the idea that while Skrull Rhodey was in control, being the advisor to the president, he used all of his access to Iron Man's technology and inside the government. And once everyone in power learns the truth of what's happening with the Skrulls and Skrull Rhodey, they basically take even more control of all of his previous assets, his Iron Man technology. So while the real Rhodey tries to deal with the consequences of what Skrull Rhodey was doing as he was pretending to be him, you also have Val Thunderbolt Ross taking control of all this Iron Man technology. Look at all these dangerous weapons that were in the hands of Skrulls. We need to take that into our governmental control now through damage control. We know the Ironheart series will help set up Armor Wars a little, and I believe Dominique Thorne is going to come back and cameo in the movie with Rhodey. I would also say that the Vision Quest series will tie into Armor Wars because of White Vision and what he's become. He's essentially Iron Man and Jarvis's baby, basically. But the Vision Quest series is more of a WandaVision spin-off, and there's a bunch of other stuff like Young Avengers stuff going on during that. They haven't announced a release date either, and it might not come out till after Armor Wars, so we'll see about that. Thunderbolts will have some minor connection to Armor Wars because of what Val is doing with her total access to any resources she needs after Thunderbolt Ross becomes president of the United States. She's already in charge of the CIA, so she already has enormous power. But I believe she's also going to take control of Damage Control, which is one of the primary antagonists of the Armor Wars movie. Like, Justin Hammer is coming back for Armor Wars, and Val, they're antagonists, but we'll see if anybody else winds up being the actual real villain of that movie. So what they'll probably do for really big Robert Downey Jr. cameo scenes is wait for Avengers 5 and Avengers 6, just because those movies are going to have so many cameos, so many big things. That'd be the place to really bring him back in a big way. That way they can have him cameo as other versions of the character without having to bring main MCU Iron Man back to life and walk back his sacrifice. There's also a lot of rumors about the 838 Illuminati having a cameo scene during Deadpool 3 and that superior Iron Man that they didn't feature in the movie. It might wind up being a version of Robert Downey Jr., or they could actually do the Tom Cruise cameo scene like everybody thought they were going to do. Let me know in the comments though, Robert Downey Jr. coming back to cameo at some point, which movies do you want that to be in? Which series do you want that to be in? We're in the middle of Secret Invasion episodes. My full episode 4 video will post next week after they release it. There were a couple new non-Marvel trailers that also released recently. I'll try to do videos for those as quickly as possible because Comic-Con is coming up and there'll be a bunch of big trailers coming. Ben Frank Arts, congratulations, you're the giveaway winner from my last big Secret Invasion video. Please email me on the About page of my channel on desktop so I can get your contact details. Everyone click here for my Secret Invasion episode 4 video, and click here for my Deadpool 3 first look and even more huge cameo scenes that they just revealed. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.